many rural municipalities are now fiscally distressed and struggle to sustain services due to poverty and weak administrative capacity. The land question remains central to rural transformation. Secure tenure and productive land remain out of reach for millions. Though black farmers now account for about 10% of agricultural output, contributing increasingly to food security and exports, traditional leaders remain influential in rural governance. And while relations with the ANC are broadly cooperative, tensions persist around women's land rights. One of the most significant structural shifts since 1994 has been the expansion of the black middle strata. By 2018, roughly half of the country's middle-income population was black. This represents a profound transformation of class structure. However, governance failures, corruption, and slow economic reform have eroded ANC support among this group. While the white middle strata largely consolidated behind opposition parties, renewal therefore requires fresh approaches to engaging both the working class and the middle strata. The expansion of the social wage remains one of the most decisive achievements of the NDR. By 2024, over 90% of households had access to electricity, nearly 88% to piped water, and over 83% to improved sanitation. Yet the limits of social policy have become evident amid economic stagnation. The COVID-19 shock and the Ukraine war, food insecurity rose sharply, with 27% of households facing moderate to severe hunger by 2023. Children remain the most vulnerable. In response, the 7th administration launched a coordinated national effort to combat hunger and malnutrition, reaffirming food security as a core national priority. Spatial inequality remains one of the most stubborn remnants of apartheid. The adoption of the National Spatial Development Framework 2050 in 2023 represents a strategic attempt to reverse this inheritance by integrating urban and rural development, strengthening development corridors, expanding infrastructure, and promoting ecological sustainability. Therefore, while the transformation journey since 1994 has delivered undeniable social and human development gains, deep structural challenges persist. The National Democratic Revolution, therefore, comrades, remains incomplete. Its continuation depends on decisive leadership, ethical governance, economic renewal, and the full remobilization of the motive forces around a renewed vision of shared prosperity. Major global events and trends emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic that gripped the world and South Africa from the end of 2019. The period since the 55th National Conference, 2022 to 2025, has been marked by profound global disruptions and structural shifts that continue to reshape geopolitics, economics, technology, and the international governance landscape. For the ANC, the Alliance, and the Mass Democratic Movement, these developments from the strategic backdrop against which national priorities, organizational renewal, and international engagement must be understood. The world has entered an era defined simultaneously by technological acceleration, heightened geopolitical contestation, climate instability, and competing visions of global governance. The rapid advance of artificial intelligence since 2022 has transformed global production systems, labor markets, and economic competition. The scale of computational power required for AI has dramatically increased global demand for energy, critical minerals, and rare earth metals, intensifying competition for access to Africa's mineral resources, with significant regional and geopolitical implications. At the same time, the convergence of finance capital, big technology, and political power has accelerated. Large technology corporations now wield influence comparable to sovereign actors. While financial markets have aligned themselves with this technological consolidation, this has created new forms of global inequality and reinforced the dominance of developed economies within the digital capitalist order. Multilateralism has come under sustained attack as major powers increasingly undermine global institutions, particularly the United